case of mine that I showcase a lot as a pretty severe example. But notice how she's low in the rear. She's super flexed in her pelvic limbs, which most likely over time, we're going to see some back issues here. She's super flexed in her knee and her hocks. And even after a while, she's like, you saw her walk, maybe 5-10 seconds max. She's ready to sit down.
She is struggling. That is hard to watch, Carrie.
It is hard to watch.
Hard to watch. You can see the distress on her face as well. She's just
The
putting so much
panting.
energy. Yeah, she's exerting so much energy to take those 5 steps.
You got it. You got it. And this is Cammie with the off-the-shelf braces that she came to me in. And this is even harder to watch in my mind. And notice, again, the panting, the stress. She is not comfortable. You can tell this is doing nothing. Yeah. This is doing nothing, absolutely nothing to support those pelvic limbs.
Oh, poor
this
girl.
To me is even more difficult to watch. But this is why we have the sores. It's not an appropriate fit. It's not an appropriate style for what she needs. And this is why biomechanics, like it or not, gang, biomechanics are important. And understanding biomechanics of why we are, why we use the orthoses that we use to support and stabilize. So this is Cammie when we put her in an appropriate style of brace. I want you to, I show this video all the time because watch her reaction. Her response is, there's her little sibling.
And look at the change in her face already. Like even the change in her face is different right away.
But what's funny, she sits down immediately.
She sits down.
She is not used to wearing and walking in a more normal fashion. And look, she does. She's like, get these off of my legs.
Walking Bronco.
She's like, what the heck is going on? You talk about proprioception, you talk about all of that, but the design of these braces are totally different. And this is her 5 minutes later in a more appropriate brace for her. And now she's up and moving. You still see that instability. She's learning. She's learning how to walk again, right? In a more normal, upright fashion. And we made some tweaks after this, but getting her into the proper orthotic to put her in a more normal anatomical position was priority.
Going to be life-changing for her. Let me ask you this. She hasn't been up and using her limbs in the normal fashion for probably quite some time. Do we have to address after we get her in the proper position? Are you addressing like her upper body's probably like, whoa, we haven't used our body in this way in a long time. So I imagine there must be some compensatory related stuff that we may need to address as well, given that we changed that posture. With that,
100%.
Would you say that? Yeah.
100%. And what she's doing is shifting forward. Yeah. So not just posture in the rear, all of these changes, and look at the low head carriage.
Right.
So what ends up happening is when they shift that weight forward, their head drops. And so in order to see in front of them, they're doing more cervical spine extension. And we start to see breakdown here. We see breakdown in the shoulders. I mentioned the carpal her wrists are starting to break down, most likely, certainly due to disease, but also most likely because of that weight shift forward and putting more stress up here.